points last week against that Boston College
Yeah,
defense,
that was
which say what you want, that's impressive because Boston College over the last couple of seasons has been very stingy defensively. So that kind of opened my eyes a little bit. But as far as this game goes, yeah, I'm pretty neutral on it. I don't have anything.
Yeah. Fred, that's how we feel. I would maybe avoid. Ryan, I'm going to give out another best bet. I'm going to go with Tulsa, minus 14.5 against Fresno State. Kind of a obscure game. I think it's the last game on the card if you look at scores and odds. But yeah, I see value in Tulsa here, a road dog, or a road favorite, I mean. Total here, 66. You know, you look at Tulsa, I mean, this offense is good. I mean, very good. They have 3 really good receivers. Dane Evans is a flamethrower at quarterback. They got that up-tempo offense. They've covered 8 of 9 on the road. And you look at Fresno, 3-13 last 16 non-conference against the spread. Tulsa has scored 45 against San Jose, 58 against North Carolina A&T. And on the road, I mean, they're just good. They're not bad. They cover games and get the job done. This Fresno team is a mess. They are totally a mess defensively. They give up 619 yards to Toledo, losing that game 52-17. They just can't move the football, Ryan, and they're a young quarterback. They don't have a lot of weapons on offense, and defensively they are awful. I considered over the total because you look at both these teams, they're generally over teams. 7 of 10 have gone over for Fresno at home. I just think this is a total blowout. I think Tulsa, I just don't think Fresno can hang with them here. I think this is like a 42-17 type of game, 42-20. I'm going to lay the points with the Golden Hurricane here. I think they get a wall-to-wall cover, blowout victory here. Any thoughts, Ryan?
Honestly, I don't really have a lot on this game, to be honest with you. Tulsa and Fresno, just, the only time I've really seen Tulsa this year was that game against Ohio State where that was just, bad circumstances with the, basically hurricane, not a play on words there with their mascot, but it was, raining really heavily late in that game, late in the first half. That kind of swung the game. So, but yeah, against Fresno, a team that, like you said, struggles mightily defensively, Tulsa should really kind of get after it with that up-tempo offense. And Dane Evans, who, let's be honest, Dane Evans kind of needs a Dane Evans game, if you will, because his numbers on the year aren't overly impressive, more interceptions than touchdowns. So he needs a game that can kind of, get him back on track. And I think a game against Fresno, who Fresno just, they don't do anything for you, really. They don't really run the ball particularly well. They don't pass the ball particularly well. They don't even average over 100 yards on the ground. Tulsa, a team that just loves to pass the ball, even they average over 100 yards on the ground. So, yeah, that's where I'd lean, Jeff. Not really in love with the play as much as you are. And and I'll be honest, just for the fact that I don't know enough about these teams to really kind of give a side. And I'll throw that out there. I'll say that.
Fresno is an awful defensive team. They really are. And I just think this is one of those games where I don't think Fresno's built to keep up offensively here. I think they get blown out. But Sean, do you have anything on this one?
Yeah, we'll talk about this one. Interesting. In non-conference, Fresno State's awful, but more importantly, let's talk about the other side with Tulsa. That kid Lucas, the wide receiver, excellent. 20 touchdowns already, 31 career games. You look since Montgomery took over in Tulsa, they scored more than 40 points in 9 of the 16 games. In the other 7 that they didn't, they hit over 30 in 4 of them. So, a lot of points being going up. You look at this Fresno State team this year, in the 3 games they've played so far, they've allowed 11 plays of 20 yards or more. So, definitely capable of going over the top on this team for big plays, big chunks at a time. If they hit 40, they should cover this number pretty easily. Team total should be right around 40, but rather than going with the team total, I think you're better off going with the 14.5. I just don't see Fresno, getting up near 30 against this Tulsa team.
Yeah, I that's kind of my thinking here. I actually, Ryan, mentioned to you, I needed a quarterback this week in fantasy. Luke Falk out, bye week. I ended up picking up Davis Webb, but I considered Dane Evans. Dane Evans should have a real big day against this Fresno defense. I think this is kind of a hidden gem on the card. So I would recommend grabbing the Golden Hurricane of Tulsa. Ryan, what I'm going to do, I'm going to save your game because I know you're excited to talk about it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ryan,
Save it.
Take a wild guess where Ryan's going this week. What game he's going with.
Khaki Nation.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm not even going to say anything.
Let's wait that.
We'll wait. We'll wait.
By the way, against Fresno State, the Toledo Golden Rockets, take a guess per pass attempt.
I saw it.
18.8 yards per pass attempt.
Yeah.
That's pretty unbelievable. That really is wild. Good stuff, Donnie. Yeah, they're bad. So get on Tulsa. Golden Hurricane train. Golden shower time for the Tulsa Hurricane. Ira, my good friend down in Florida, wants us to look at, and actually a couple other people as well, Florida State hosting South Florida. Florida State laying 5.5. I didn't write down the total. I don't really care about the total. I'm looking at the side here anyway. What the hell is up with Florida State defensively? You know, it's interesting. I use the NCAA stats page. I really love that. It's a great tool if you're looking for stats. They're on the third page, Ryan, in scoring defense, and third page is not good. It's the last page. They're in the 100s defensively.
Yeah.
And, you know, you saw it against Ole Miss. You clearly saw it against Louisville. This team is having issues defending for whatever reason. South Florida runs an up-tempo, quick. Quentin Flowers is a good quarterback. Marlon Mack is a fantastic running back. They're well coached. They're not afraid to play the big boys. This is a good football team last year. It's just hard to believe that Florida State's going to lose 2 straight. This is the little brother. But again, these are dangerous matches because South Florida, a lot of them kids weren't scouted here. They were scoffed at by the big program. Look, I'll be rooting for South Florida. I will want nothing more than to watch them go in and beat the big boys here. I think that'd be great for that program. And it'd be another great win for the AAC. It's just hard to back and fade Florida State. I don't think they lose 2 straight.
Look, I'll be honest. I think Florida State pounds South Florida.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just a hunch. It's just a hunch. My big thing with Florida State right now is when you look at all the numbers, you touched on, they're on the third page of defense and just every other thing that you want to look at. The biggest thing that I take away, and I know they were behind a lot last week, so that kind of plays into it a little bit. Dalvin Cook only has 50 carries so far this year through 3 games.
Yeah.
That's not a lot. For 3 games, that's not a lot as far as carries go for a guy that's people talking about possibly winning the Heisman Trophy, possibly rushing over 2,000 yards this year. That's nothing. I think they get back to that this weekend. I think they kind of feed Dalvin Cook. Look, Francois' been great. You know, almost 800 yards, 6 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions for a true freshman. It's been fantastic. And let's be real, USF. The likes of Towson, Northern Illinois, and Syracuse so far in this young season. You're going to be in for a little bit of a wake call, I think. I like the talent they have down there, and I like the direction the program's moving in. But against FSU, a pissed-off FSU team, I like Florida State.
Yeah, that'd be my thing. I would want nothing more. It'd be nice to see South Florida
another
win.
Team that's looking for a bounce back spot. This is another one of them spots.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
and it's tempting. I think the line's a little low here. Honestly,
I think so too.
Sean, are you on that wavelength here?
Yeah, especially in college sports and football, emotion and all that really goes into it. And Florida State won last week. Maybe you can make the case for backing South Florida in this game, but. Jimbo just doesn't lose against teams in Florida. He's 14-1. He's going to have pissed. I think, like you said, they get back to the running game and they smash it down their throat, and he just runs the ball, gets back to just physical type beat down. However, there isn't a line on the board this week that doesn't scream, take me, like this one. So, I won't be betting it just for that the books want you to take Florida State. But to lose 2 in a row to a South Florida team, I just don't see it. But who knows? So, a lot of teams have 2 losses that I didn't think would have 2 losses already.
I think another thing here that you have to point out, if Florida State loses, I mean, they're done. I mean, their season's over.
Right.
It may already be over.
Right.
I don't think it is because
Well,
they obviously
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so yet.
But a loss here would significantly it'd be over. It'd be done. You cannot lose to South Florida no matter what. But again, I would waver the same motion if Ryan said. I think this is a double-digit victory for Florida State. They will wear down South Florida. So if I were you, I would tomahawk up. Get on the tomahawks.
I like this. Donnie's giving me updates on the pre-plays today from the podcast.
Yeah, he loves you. I will admit, you guys love baseball. I will point out. I actually just because I like to move on, but I still watch it. Of course, Phillies, by the way, rolling tonight. Ryan, how about that?
Got the Chris Sale early.
Jumping on Chris Sale. How about that?
How can you not like playoffs though?
Oh no, I love playoffs. I love baseball. I just focus on football betting wise. Ryan, you do as well. Jeff T. Ryan, we have another Jeff, a new listener to the show. He's asking about Marshall Louisville.
Okay.
Interesting game. Marshall laying.
I know a lot of people interested in that.
Louisville laying 26.5 over under 74 and a hook. Marshall's an interesting team because we've made a lot of money on them over the years, Ryan.
And let's get this right. It's Marshall.
Marshall, that's right. In the words of the famous College Chill from collegechill.com, Marshall, I'll say. They made me a lot of money. Rakeem Cato was like a god to me a year or two ago. But I almost felt sorry for them last week. I mean, you gave up 65 points at home to Akron.
That's bad.
They didn't do that it wasn't Western Kentucky or Middle Tennessee. It was the Zips of Akron. Did Akron score 65 points total last year? I mean, it was pretty unbelievable. Now you're asking them to stop arguably the best team in the country with the best quarterback in the country. It's hard to envision. I'll be honest, I kind of like the over in this game. I think both teams will be able to score.
What's the current number?
74.5. Yeah, I definitely think. I mean, Louisville's averaging like 60 points a game.
65.
Okay, let's say they score 50. I think this is like a 52-28 type of game. 56-24. I like the over here. That's the way I would go. Sidewise, I wouldn't get into it at all. I could see a situation where Louisville finally, maybe, it's within 3 touchdowns. Marshall could do it. Yeah, that's a good point, Donnie. Again, Louisville may be on a little bit of a hangover here.
That's what you worry about. Yeah.
But, look,
I'll tell you.
if any team's they're going to step up against any team, it could be Marshall. Chase Litton's a good quarterback. I don't think Marshall is what they were last week. There was a lot of defensive turnovers in that game, a lot of special teams. I would look over here, Jeff, if I were you, but I'll tell you what, I would side Marshall, honestly. Any thoughts here, Sean?
Yeah, who Louisville play last week?
Florida State.
Florida State.
Yeah, who do they play next week?
Clemson.
Right.
Good point.
I mean, this is the ultimate sandwich spot.
Yep.
The term is made for this. And all the time you see it with a giant letdown, whether it's Alabama, after a big game earlier this year, whatever it may be, the second game of the year. And when you're in a sandwich spot like this where you can cruise to a victory and you're facing a team that even though they still put up 600 yards of offense and over 30 first downs last week, they're going to be able to score. When it's garbage time, Marshall can get a fourth quarter touchdown for you. I like the points here a lot. I think Louisville, there's no way you can come in fully motivated for this game after what you just did on national television and what you're looking ahead to. Like I said, the definition of sandwich spot is made for this game, and I think backing Marshall is, as scary as it might be, is 100% the right play.
Plus, Donnie Martin making a lot of good points tonight. I mean, if they're up 4 touchdowns, do they really give a fuck about covering? I mean, they're going to look to rest Lamar Jackson. I mean, Lamar Jackson's been overworked. I mean,
especially with Clemson.
Yeah,
you don't want to take any chances.
I agree wholeheartedly, Donnie. I think Marshall's the play in this game. I think I think the over's also a good play. It's hard, Ryan, to take Louisville here. I mean, they're between Florida State and Clemson. Marshall's not they're